world watched in awe as humanity took a giant leap forward. On August 6, 1945, at 8:15 a.m. local time, the United States dropped an atomic bomb on Hiroshima, Japan. This event marked a turning point in human history, forever changing our relationship with warfare and the very nature of destruction. The blinding flash and mushroom cloud that engulfed Hiroshima that day served as a stark reminder of the devastating power we now possessed. The world stood still, grappling with the magnitude of the event. News trickled in slowly, painting a horrifying picture of the devastation. The once vibrant city of Hiroshima, now reduced to rubble and ash. Thousands perished instantly, vaporized by the unimaginable heat of the blast. The bombing of Hiroshima was not just an attack on a city, it was an attack on humanity itself. The creation of the atomic bomb was a culmination of years of scientific research and collaboration. The Manhattan Project, a top-secret undertaking by the United States, brought together some of the brightest minds of the time. Led by physicist J. Robert Oppenheimer, the project involved countless scientists, engineers, and technicians working tirelessly in secrecy. They toiled away at various locations across the United States, racing against time to develop a weapon that could potentially alter the course of the war. The science behind the atomic bomb was complex and groundbreaking. The splitting of the atom, a process known as nuclear fission, released an immense amount of energy. Harnessing this energy in a controlled explosion was the key challenge faced by the Manhattan Project scientists. The urgency of the war and the fear of a potential Axis victory fueled their determination. The decision to use the atomic bomb was not taken lightly. The United States, locked in a bitter war with Japan, faced a difficult choice. The conflict had already claimed millions of lives, and the fighting in the Pacific was particularly brutal. Japan had proven to be a formidable enemy, fiercely defending its occupied territories. Conventional warfare had resulted in heavy casualties on both sides, and there was no clear end in sight. The US military estimated that a traditional invasion of Japan could cost hundreds of thousands of American lives. The atomic bomb, with its unprecedented destructive power, presented a way to end the war swiftly and decisively. Proponents of its use argued that it would save American lives and ultimately shorten the conflict. The impact of the atomic bomb on Hiroshima was immediate and devastating. The explosion, equivalent to about 15,000 tons of TNT, obliterated everything within a 2-kilometer radius. Buildings crumbled, bridges collapsed, and the city was engulfed in a firestorm. The intense heat vaporized people instantly, leaving behind only shadows etched into the ground. Many suffered from severe burns, radiation sickness, and injuries from flying debris. The aftermath was a scene of utter devastation. The once bustling city was now a smoldering wasteland. Survivors, many of them severely injured, wandered aimlessly through the ruins, searching for loved ones. The invisible killer radiation would continue to claim lives for years to come. The horrors of Hiroshima did not end with the initial blast. The atomic bomb's true cruelty lay in its invisible aftermath. Radiation. In the days, weeks, and years that followed, thousands more would suffer and succumb to the silent killer lurking in the shadows. Radiation sickness, a mysterious and agonizing ailment, ravaged the bodies of those exposed. Victims experienced nausea, vomiting, hair loss, and internal bleeding. Many died within weeks, their immune systems destroyed by the invisible enemy. The long-term effects of radiation were equally devastating. Cancer rates soared among survivors, a grim reminder of the bomb's enduring legacy. The genetic damage caused by the bomb cast a long shadow over future generations. The bombing of Hiroshima marked a turning point in human history. It ushered in the atomic age, an era defined by both technological advancement and the terrifying specter of nuclear war. The world now possessed a weapon capable of unimaginable destruction, forever altering the dynamics of international relations. The use of the atomic bomb on Hiroshima, and just days later on Nagasaki, ultimately led to Japan's surrender and the end of World War II. However, it also ignited a global arms race, with nations vying for nuclear supremacy. The Cold War saw both superpowers amassing vast nuclear arsenals. The fear of nuclear annihilation loomed large over the world, shaping political discourse, cultural movements, and everyday life. The bombing of Hiroshima served as a stark reminder of the immense power we now wielded and the responsibility that came with it. In the aftermath of the bombing, Hiroshima transformed from a site of unimaginable destruction to a symbol of peace and resilience. The city, which once lay in ruins, became a beacon of hope and a testament to the human spirit's ability to overcome even the most devastating of circumstances. The city, once reduced to rubble, rose from the ashes, determined to rebuild not only its infrastructure, but also its hope for a peaceful future. Through the tireless efforts of its citizens, Hiroshima was able to reconstruct its buildings, roads, and homes, while also fostering a community dedicated to the pursuit of peace and understanding. The Hiroshima Peace Memorial Park, built on the site of the explosion, stands as a poignant reminder of the horrors of war and the importance of striving for peace. It is a place where visitors can reflect on the past and contemplate the necessity of a world without conflict. The skeletal remains of the Genbaku Dome serve as a stark reminder of the devastation wrought by the atomic bomb. This iconic structure, preserved in its ruined state, symbolizes both the destructive power of nuclear weapons and the enduring hope for a future free from such threats. Every year on August 6th, Hiroshima holds a solemn memorial ceremony. This event brings together people from all walks of life to honor the memory of those who perished and to renew their commitment to peace. People from all over the world gather to remember the victims, pray for peace, and reaffirm their commitment to a world free from nuclear weapons. The ceremony serves as a powerful reminder of the shared responsibility we all have in preventing such tragedies from occurring again. The Hiroshima Peace Memorial Museum documents the bombing and its aftermath, sharing survivors' stories and advocating for a world without nuclear weapons. Through its exhibits and educational programs, the museum plays a crucial role in promoting peace and ensuring that the lessons of Hiroshima are never forgotten. The bombing of Hiroshima remains one of the most controversial events in human history. The decision to use the atomic bomb, a weapon of unprecedented destructive power, continues to spark heated debate and ethical scrutiny. Proponents of the bombing argue that it was a necessary evil, a last resort that ultimately saved lives by bringing a swift end to World War II. They contend that a traditional invasion of Japan would have resulted in even greater casualties on both sides. Critics, however, condemn the bombing as a morally reprehensible act, an act of terror that indiscriminately targeted civilians. They argue that the use of such a devastating weapon, particularly against a civilian population, can never be justified. The ethical debate surrounding Hiroshima centers on the question of proportionality and the distinction between military and civilian targets. The bombing of Hiroshima was not an isolated incident. It marked the beginning of a series of catastrophic events that would forever change the course of history. Just 3 days later, on August 9, 1945, the United States dropped a second atomic bomb, this time on the Japanese city of Nagasaki. The devastation was swift and brutal. The two cities, forever linked by tragedy, share a common legacy of suffering, resilience, and advocacy for peace. Their stories are intertwined, each echoing the other's pain and hope. Nagasaki, like Hiroshima, suffered unimaginable devastation. Buildings were flattened and lives were shattered in an instant. The blast, although less powerful than the one that struck Hiroshima, instantly killed tens of thousands of people and left the city in ruins. The human cost was immeasurable. The long-term effects of radiation, including cancer and birth defects, continued to plague survivors for decades. The shadow of the bomb lingered long after the initial explosion. The bombings of Hiroshima and Nagasaki serve as stark reminders of the horrors of nuclear war and the indiscriminate nature of these weapons. They highlight the urgent need for global peace and disarmament. Today, Hiroshima and Nagasaki stand as sister cities, united in their commitment to nuclear disarmament and a world free from the threat of nuclear war. Their shared history fuels a powerful message of hope and determination for a peaceful future. The legacy of Hiroshima is a complex one, marked by both tragedy and a profound message of hope. The resilience of the survivors and their determination to rebuild their lives and their city is a testament to the human spirit. The bombing serves as a stark reminder of the devastating consequences of nuclear war, illustrating the immense human suffering and environmental destruction that such weapons can cause. It underscores the urgent need to prevent such atrocities from ever happening again. The lessons learned from Hiroshima extend far beyond the realm of warfare, offering valuable insights into the importance of diplomacy, dialogue, and understanding in resolving conflict. These lessons remind us that peaceful negotiations and mutual respect are key to avoiding future conflicts. They highlight the need for international cooperation, emphasizing the pursuit of peaceful solutions to global challenges. The global community must work together to address the root causes of conflict and promote stability. The quest for a nuclear-free world remains an ongoing challenge, one that requires sustained effort and commitment from all nations. It is a collective responsibility that demands vigilance and perseverance. As we remember the victims of Hiroshima and Nagasaki, let us honor their memory by working towards a future where the horrors of nuclear war are relegated to the history books. Their sacrifice should inspire us to strive for a safer world. Let us strive to create a world where peace prevails, and the destructive power of the atom is harnessed for the betterment of humanity, not its annihilation. By doing so, we can ensure a brighter future for generations to come.